In this video, we're going to be shading a Venn diagram with two sets. Unions, intersections, and complements will be included. Okay, so I've printed off some extra Venn diagrams here to shade because I'm going to take this step by step. So as you're doing these problems, I kind of recommend doing something similar to this to break these things down step by step instead of just trying to look at it and figuring it all out in your head. Okay, so we've got our first problem here that says shade B complement. Remember, that's everything that's not B, and then union that with D. Okay, so what I want to do is go down here and first shade B complement. Okay, so B complement is everything that's not in B. So that's including all the stuff on the outside. Okay, and also includes this part of D that's not overlapped with B. So everything is shaded in B complement except for B. Okay, that's the opposite of B. So B will be the only thing not shaded. Even if it overlaps with something else, you still can't shade it because it's the opposite of B. Okay, your next part of the question was D. So let's shade D. I'll do that in a different color. Okay, here's D. Okay, so we've got that. Okay, so now they're asking us, now we can look at the question and say, okay, well, we're asked to union these two things. So I want to union these two things. Anything that's colored in either red or in purple, I want to be colored in. So what is the only thing that was not colored in either one of these pictures? Because everything else I need to color in. So what was blank in both pictures? Okay, well, this little sliver of B right here is the only part of this entire Venn diagram that was never shaded. It was not shaded in B complement, and it's not shaded in D. Thus, we will shade everything in our problem except for that bigger piece of B. So I'll shade, let's go up here, and all this gets shaded. Everything except for that part of B. So this is what we're going to shade. Okay, everything except for that inside part gets shaded. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. Okay, on this one, we're asked to shade B union D complement. Okay, so it would be D complement. So let's do the same thing that we did before. The first thing I'll shade is B. So this will just be B that I'm shading here. So that is this. All of B will be shaded. Okay, and then D complement. D complement will be everything that's not in D. Okay, so that includes all this stuff out here. Also includes part of B, the part that's not overlapping with D. Okay, but we're not going to include D because this is the opposite of D, so D can't be included in D complement. Okay, so this thing is D complement. Now our question was to union these two things. Okay, so anything that got shaded, we will continue to shade. So there's only one thing that didn't get shaded in both, and it's this part of D. Notice that this part of D is not shaded here, and it's not shaded here either. Okay, this outside part is shaded down here, and this little sliver is shaded here, so we'll include those, but this part was not shaded in either one, so we will not include that part. So let's go ahead and shade this thing, everything except for this part of D. So all of this, all of B, all of U, all the universal set that's not part of that. Okay, so this will stay unshaded. Okay, on this one, we're asked to shade the complement of B complement union D. Okay, so we'll first need to figure out what B complement is. Then we'll need to figure out what B complement union D is. Then we'll need to do the opposite of that because of this complement out here. So the first thing I'm going to do is do B complement, okay? And that is everything that is not in B. Okay, so we've done that a few times already. So all of this gets shaded. And what else gets shaded? Part of D. The part of D that doesn't overlap with B. So notice B complement is everything is shaded except for B. Okay, and then we need to figure out what that union with D would look like. So we're going to figure out what, my next step, what is B complement union D? Okay, so we have B complement up here. All we have to do is add in D. Okay, so D is this, the whole D there. So I can go ahead and shade that in because we know that's included. This is the union, so it's everything that's in either one. So we know D is all the way included. What else is included up here? Because we got D. Now what else is included in B complement that we haven't already shaded? Just the outside stuff, right? So everything except for that part of B right there gets shaded. Okay, so there you go. That is B complement union D. Now remember, the original was asking for the complement of what we just found. So we need to shade in for our answer the opposite of this. Okay, and the opposite of this would be just the part that didn't get colored, which is this part of B right here. So this, which is the complement of what we just found, is just this. Okay, on this problem, they're asking us to shade in B intersect D complement. Okay, so that's different from the first three that we just did. Those were all unions, which means if it's a union, everything that was shaded at least once will shade in our answer. Intersection, if we shade it, it has to be shaded in both. Okay, so we know what B is, and we can figure out what D complement is. B is this. Okay, that's shading B. And then D complement is everything not in D, right? Okay, so everything not in D will be all of this. I can't include this little sliver of B because it's in D as well. And out here. Okay, so I've got that part shaded in for D complement now. Now they're asking us to find the intersection of these two things. Find the intersection of these two things. That means we only write it down if it's shaded twice. So there's only one region that's shaded twice. It's not the outside region because that wasn't shaded here. It's not this sliver here because that wasn't shaded here. But this part of B is shaded in both. So my answer will be that. Just that part of B. Okay, for this one, they're asking us to shade the complement of B intersect D. Okay, so let's first figure out what B intersect D is. Okay, and then we will do the opposite, which is the complement. So looking at B and looking at D, the intersection is where they both overlap, right? Where B and D are both shaded. And that is just this in-between part right here. That is the only part that B and D intersect each other. Okay, so B intersect D complement will be the opposite of that. And I suppose I could just draw it up here since we're done with the problem. So it'll just be everything that's not this. Okay, so we'll shade the entire thing except for this part because this is the opposite of B intersect D because it's B intersect D complement. So I'm not going to shade this inner region because it was shaded here. I will shade everything else. All that gets shaded, and the only part that doesn't get shaded is that middle part right there. Okay, so that stays unshaded. Okay, this will be the last one. Okay, so it's asking us to find B complement intersect D. So B complement is everything that's not B. So let's shade everything that's not in B. So once I get done, there should be only B left unshaded. So this is B complement, everything except for B, okay? And then it's asking us to intersect that with D. I can go ahead and draw D on this one, okay? Now it's intersect, so it only gets shaded in our final answer if it gets shaded twice, okay? So the outside wasn't shaded here, so we can't include it. This little sliver right here is shaded here, but it's not shaded here. This part of B is never shaded. The only thing that's shaded twice is this right part of D, not this little part that intersects, but this part over here is shaded in both. So that's what I'm going to shade for my final answer. And that is B complement intersect D. And that's it.